20 long form, 50. How much did you say you have on short
500
form?
short form.
500 short form. How many TikTok lives?
That would be at least 100
100 TikTok lives.
a month. Yeah.
How the fuck do you do all of this?
I went from having minus £990 to over 25K in 6 months whilst I was a uni student.
How old are you? 20, 21, something like
21.
that? 21 years old, right?
Generally, like my business has improved also.
This is a real business. It requires hustle, it requires hard work and stuff. And that's like the cold reality that some people have to get used to.
I went from having minus £990 to over 25K in 6 months whilst I was a uni student. Well, then, of course, I'm getting uni students, apprentices. Look, this is how I worked a part-time job earning £70 a day. Now I'm doing £200 a day. You just start attracting your people. And when you actually attract your people, one, they will pay you more money and they will actually almost be like a clan because they actually like you. Of course, you don't want to be liked and force being liked. But when you're yourself, you get people who like you, and people who like you respect you and they'll also pay you. And when you have that, it's actually more enjoyable for you to coach because you actually like the people you're coaching. You
can go watch your fights. Anyways, so Zach, first of all, thank you so much for coming on. Really, really appreciate that. First things first, you're probably one of my most successful clients since we started working back in March. Don't want to give too much away for obvious reasons. You want to keep some things private, but basically, is it fair to say that you have 10 to 12x'd your business since we started in March?
Yeah. So since we started, I mean, it was kind of like my last attempt, and we've done some really good things. Like we've pretty much taken over.
When you say last attempt, what do you mean?
I was kind of stuck. There was nothing more that I could have done by myself. I kind of hit a ceiling, and I was searching for help. Like I didn't know what more to do to get past where I was. And if I'm honest, if I kept on going, I would have just sat there. I wouldn't have gone any higher. I may have had one good month, but we generally 10x'd everything. And the best part about it is we didn't just do it once. We've done it like 3, 4, 5 times now, like in a row. So it's not luck. It's not like we've just kind of got a bit lucky one month. You know, you get a Christmas month where you make a bit of money. It's like we did it even on bad months.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah.
No, it's really good. Okay, so talk to me beforehand, because some people watching this are like in the very beginning stages, maybe getting their very first few clients and stuff like that. How did you find getting started? What worked in the very beginning? And then kind of what made the massive change in your income, so to speak?
Sure. So are you talking about before I started with you and then?
Yeah. So you were coaching for how long before working with me?
So before working with you, I started coaching like 1-to-1 and the offer I was doing in July 2023. So I guess almost like a year of coaching. At the time, I mean, it was okay. It was very much like I was maybe getting 5 clients a month, 6 clients. But the issue that I had at the time was I was doing some sort of like 1-to-1 mentorship. It was very, very unclear. I was doing 1-to-1, but there was like lifetime support. I was teaching some people one thing and some people another thing. My content system, you know, I was posting once a day. I was okay, but I was only doing TikTok. There was no real YouTube. Instagram was lacking as well. I had no like emails either. And then obviously we sat down together and we had a look at the pieces. And another key thing was also undervaluing myself. I was helping so many people for basically so cheap. I used to have a £30 a month offer where I'd put so much time into that. And
I
I'd have
remember that.
people also messaging me on WhatsApp. I'd be doing like free calls. I'd be doing basically a bit too much. But if anything, it actually allowed me to gain some sort of student results, right? So although it was bad at the time, it actually allowed me to get some credentials. And then that's where then you came in and actually saw that I had something good going on. And you said, what up? Like you should be doing this now. So then obviously we completely changed the offer. We put the prices up. We kind of made the access a bit lower, and we worked on quite a lot of things in terms of like self-confidence, the sales calls, actually like understanding what it was that I was helping people with, and actually having like taken the power back into my hands that I'm actually the teacher here rather than like almost like being run around by my students, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's get specific. What was, if you can, how much were you charging? What were your offers and what did you deliver? Like, how did the program look like?
So before I was charging £500 for like a lifetime 1-to-1 mentorship, but it would be like 8 sessions. Yeah. And then I used to charge maybe 650 for like a more advanced model. It was really messy. It was really messy. And then I had a £30 a month one, which was like a pre-recorded course. And then it was like Discord support on channels, and it was messy. Then obviously we cut that off and we said, like, it was mad. We took the one-to-one offer from that to a 2K offer we did. So we did a 2K offer, and we said that was for 6 months, and it was monthly calls booked in. It was more structured. It was not really WhatsApp support. It was a bit more, or if it was WhatsApp support, there were clear boundaries. Like, these days I don't work, and also to kind of set the tone a bit better, not just random calls every now and again. It was a bit more respect included. And then we had the group coaching offer, which was really good because we had a 899, or at the time we started, it was like 799. And that was a group coaching, 8 sessions, which I used to do one-to-one with everyone for some silly reason. We just put everyone in a group. It actually made the results even better because it was more condensed, and also it was way easier to manage. Yeah, we changed that, and that is how we pretty much went on the first month. I mean, the first month after we worked together, we went from doing basically, we 3x'd. Yeah, so we 3x'd in the
Yeah.
first month, which was
Yeah.
generally just down to the offer that you created for me, the landing page. And yeah, those 2 things that you helped me with completely changed everything from the jump. So that was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like you were massively, from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong here. I completely forgot about the £30 a month nonsense that you had. But basically it was, you were really like annoyed that people were WhatsApping you on a Saturday, and you were like bogged down by people complaining potentially and not being happy
Yeah.
with the results, and after charging them like £500-600. Now so we went from £30 a month with the Discord, we went to 799, then 899 with the group coaching, worked out really well. And then we went from the 500-600 to now, was it 2 grand straight away, or
I think we did 1.5K first, and then we
and then
started.
2
Yeah.
and then 2, and now you're doing at 3?
Yeah, 3, and then it will be going up to at least 5.
Perfect. Cool. How, in terms of the type of clientele, has that changed at all?
Yeah, generally, like, my business outside of the mentorship has improved also because of the clients that I've got. So with Amazon FBA, the clients I was getting before were almost draining my time a lot of the time, to be honest with you.
Mhm,
Whereas the
mhm.
clients that I get now, I'm actually been working with them to get them in helping me with my business. And I actually hit my first 100K month on Amazon last month as well. And that was actually down to the fact that I had a network of people who I'm teaching who could actually add value. So we do like wholesale deals together. They send me some leads and stuff that we hop in together. I might have one student who's calling certain suppliers for me, and then I'm taking some for him. So it really actually allowed me to grow a proper network of people. And the clientele, they're a lot more respectful, and they respect my time a lot more. 2, they are actually a bit more attentive, so they listen to what I say and actually follow it. And 3, it's not that they're less demanding. They are paying more, but it's funny, they're actually a bit less demanding because they understand how business works. So I have people who have money, and because they have money and they've had other businesses, they understand that maybe it takes time. They understand that, you know, um, they have to follow my lead, and I'm going to take them to a certain direction, rather than they hop in and they want results tomorrow, and then I don't reply to them in 1 hour, and then they throw their toys out the pram, you know?
Gotcha. No, no, I understand. But the thing is, the one thing that I'm a little bit surprised with yourself is that you probably will know this already, but you have overcome it somehow. And I actually want to know this because I actually don't have the answer to that particular question. But how old are you? 20, 21, something like
21.
that? 21 years old, right? Having 6 figures in your bank account. We spoke about this, which is crazy, to be completely honest. But besides that, you essentially, as a coach, most of the time you attract people who are similar to you, similar ethnicity-wise, similar age-wise, etc., etc. Now, let's be honest, most people in your age bracket, 20, 21, 22, 25, whatever, don't really have 3 to 5 grand spare. Yet you are still selling mentorships on a one-to-one at 3 grand and going to push up to 5. How did that happen? How did that how are people with money being compelled enough to jump on a call with you and then actually buy your
Yeah.
services?
I definitely think this was something that you helped with a lot. When we started, I remember it's very funny. I used to send you my sales recordings, and I just remember after everyone, you'd give me like a list. You'd even give me like a 3-minute voice note, and you'd be
Mhm.
like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you so excited? Why are you doing this?" And that really helped because it actually allowed me to just like understand my value, understand my positioning, understand what I'm offering. And when you're clear with people, I think people respect that a lot more because they're like, all right, this guy's young, but he's, 1, talking sense, and 2, he's being honest about what he's providing. And that's all people a lot of the time are after. They just want to know, what on earth are you telling me? And when you tell them, look, we got group coaching, we got this is what you're going to get. We got one-to-one, this is what you're going to get. This is what I can promise you. This is how the process looks like. It's a lot more easy to buy into that. Whereas when you're selling someone for £500 and it's like lifetime, but then you don't know what support you're going to get. And then on the sales call, they're very, very like trying to close you and they're very, very like excited. Then of course they're going to think this kid's never seen money before. Why am I going to trust him? So I think you definitely help with that with your experience, right? You've been
Yeah.
in the game for so long. So I kind of inherited your traits.
I remember one more thing that the one of the first few sales calls that I saw, you were wearing like a vest, and I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, you need to remember as to how you come across, what you look like, etc., etc. Like, you need to look presentable, and if you're going to start charging people high ticket prices, you need to look like someone that should be taken with respect. But I think now, given that you've taken those lessons on board, you're much less excited when somebody says, hey, I'm going to pay 3 grand, 5 grand, whatever. And also the fact that you yourself reached over 100K in a single month on Amazon gives you that credibility that you can be like, well, you know what? I've got the results that you want. Forget my age for a minute. Like, do you want the same results that I've got? Simple as that, really,
For sure.
which is really, really good. How big was your team beforehand and how big is it now, if you don't mind me
Yeah,
asking?
that's a really good question. So when I started, I was always a one-man band, right? It used to be me, and then even in August, I had 2 videographers, like last year, August, right? So it was just kind of us. They were only really doing recording anyway, so the team was just me. Now we've got at least a team of 6. We've got like a full editing team of at least 4 people. I have someone who helps with service delivery and support. Then I have some people in the back end that I help him with some other things as well. So we're constantly improving the team. My goal is at least to get it to a team of 10. And I think that also allows me to keep going as well, because the fact that I now have responsibilities and I have people that are working for me, it makes it just so much better and so much bigger as well.
And which channels do you get majority of your clients from?
I still think we get a lot from TikTok, but YouTube and you telling me about YouTube has helped a lot, because I think once I started doing YouTube, everyone that hops on my sales calls or anyone that does hop into the university, they're like, I've watched your YouTube. And I think that has made our closing rate so high. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about coaching being inconsistent or people almost like having to convince people to pay. If I'm very honest with our business and with SS University, I don't ever have to actually convince someone to join. They're already sold or they have the call. So I could even get rid of sales calls, to be honest with you, and still have the same amount coming in. I just like to do it anyway on a personal level, because I actually like to meet people and I just find it good for them to actually feel like, you know, their mentor actually cares about them, right? But the YouTube definitely helped with that, with the close rate.
Gotcha. People discount of how amazing TikTok lives are at building connection and potentially selling. TikTok shorts, different story, that like the actual short video itself, different story, but I think TikTok lives are actually really effective. How many TikTok lives does you and your team do every single week?
Yeah, so we actually completely started the trend, right? And if you go on to TikTok Live now, everyone is on Amazon FBA, in fact, is doing TikTok Lives. I started doing TikTok Lives in July 2024, even before I met you, right? Since then, I was doing it every single day. And then I had other people doing TikTok Lives as well. And in that way, we're doing a live every single day. Sometimes I would do 2 a day. And this is basically what led to the takeover. We did it early. So I was doing the lives from May. And because of that, we managed to I scaled my following on TikTok and other following by at least 5 or 6,000 just from lives. And these are clients who are actually following because they want to start. We wouldn't tell people to follow unless they're interested. And like I said, now if you go onto TikTok, everyone's trying to do it for Amazon FBA, but we got in there early. And because of that, you know, we managed to kind of put ourselves at the top and everyone's kind of chasing. Does that make
You
sense?
worried about the competition?
I mean, at the start, obviously, I messaged you and there were times where I was slightly concerned, but that was more just because of people trying to obviously butcher your name and stuff like that, right? When you see someone that's young, better than you, a lot of the time, no one, and I know for this as a fact, can beat me in terms of work rate. I'll always outwork anyone in the space. So the only thing they can do is obviously talk. So
Yep.
once we had that conversation, I was pretty confident that, look, to be honest with you, people are going to come and go, but we're the constant factor. If I show up every single day, like you said, we're always going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting is that whilst people are trying to catch up on the TikTok live side of things on Amazon FBA and various other businesses, you are already looking into the next strategies. And I'm talking ads, I'm talking clips and clippers and all that sort of stuff. How much can you share right now as to what's been working, what's not been working, and what's the next thing you can like? Obviously, you don't have to answer this. Obviously, this is might be some under the wraps and stuff, but like, what's the next plan?
So one thing I've learned with building the personal brand is it is at first you need to do all the short form and the long form, right? We've 100%, or me in any way, have managed to surpass the level of doing that now. So TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram is all fine. So next it comes to a point where obviously we need to expand a bit more, whether that's to the USA, whether that's to Europe, whether that's to just a global community. So hence then you have your scale models, as we discussed, have ads. But I think paid ads are important if they already organically know you, if you have good traction already, you already have YouTube, you already have client testimonials. So then you actually stand out with your ad. That's what I think. I think it helps. And then obviously clipping as well, right? We're in a generation now where organic, I think, is really, really powerful, especially for, my sort of target audience. They're all on TikTok, a lot of them, or they're on YouTube or Instagram, and they want to also see behind the scenes a little bit. I think when people see like someone young living, they kind of want to see that first, and then they want to hear what they have to say. It's a bit of a backwards thing, to be honest with you. I think it should be the other way around, but we do live in a generation now where you have the car, suddenly now people want to pay attention to you. So attention's obviously, as much as views don't pay, sometimes it gets to a point when you are at a good level to scale. I think you need more views. I think once
Gotcha.
you get to the, like, you get past the 30K months or whatever, you get past a certain point to scale to those 100 or the 200 or the 300. Now you need more attention, right? So that's where then the ads, the clipping comes into play.
So you're doing over 30K. Okay, no
Maybe.
worries. Let that slip there. It's a really, really good question because right now I'll be honest, you're very, very close of convincing me otherwise. I was always under the impression that you want to provide as much value content as possible in order to sell. However, you have pivoted slightly and you started speaking a little bit more about your own lifestyle. You came to Dubai. I posted a story of you in a Ferrari, and that is my most viewed story till this day. Weirdly, what's like the mindset behind like how much do you post that's Amazon related stuff, and then how much do you post that's like your lifestyle aspirational
Yeah.
related content?
I think at the same time, you have to be careful because if you post lifestyle, you're having to chase lifestyle. So this is the one thing that you have to just have a good balance of, right? Because if you're always trying to drive the SF90s and do all of this, you end up actually chasing your tail. It's expensive. As you know, it's expensive to do these things. That's like 5 or 6 grand just for one trip, right? And you need to put that money maybe into scaling your business. So I think the best way to do it is at least level up your character. One thing I've seen and why I think my business is scaling is because as I've scaled everything, my character is scaling. So now I've moved out of the UK, right? And now when people are on my TikTok lives, it's not, oh, Zach's in his room still and he's just doing Amazon at 50K a month. He's hit 100K a month and he's abroad, right? And when people see character progression in that way, they then feel a certain way, like, hold up, like, I can actually see proof that this person is progressing. I've been on the journey. I've been watching him. I want to learn from him. And that's kind of how I even saw with you as well. I saw your videos when you started.
Yeah.
You were in your bedroom or whatever. And then now you've got a YouTube pack behind you. Now you're in this car. Now you're there. And it's like, oh, I remember him from a few years ago. So clearly he's done something that I want to know about. So then I'm slightly more inclined to go with him rather than someone talking about Amazon FBA that's still stuck in their bedroom. Does that
Right.
make sense?
So have you noticed from your sales calls and everything that people would mention like your lifestyle related
Yeah.
content as well?
Yeah, definitely. I find like people, they like the value, of course, but I think they like the fact, especially my young audience. So anyone below 21, they like the fact I dropped out of university. They like the fact that I'm living abroad. I moved out of my parents' home. They like the fact I bought my new car. They like the fact that I'm living on my own terms, right? And a lot of the young audience like that. I think the older audience, so maybe a 30 plus, they don't really care about that stuff. They care about the value. They care more about like, what are your accolades in the business? But I definitely think for a younger audience, uh, if I'm honest, in Amazon FBA, it's filled with young audience. I think the 16 to 24 are very, very interested in Amazon because it's a business they can start with 2 to 3K. A lot of 18-year-olds have that money from uni, whereas maybe coaching businesses, you might need to be a bit older, you need more money, whatever. Well, you know that more than I do.
Yeah.
In that way, you do need to tailor to your audience. I think too many people they don't look at the industry that they're in. Like one thing we did is we actually like stepped back and we said, what is our avatar? What is, or who are the people that are going to buy from us? How do we then tailor to them? Right. And if ours is 16 to 24, your average 16 to 24-year-old is just on TikTok all day scrolling. Realistically, they've got 2-3K. They are like, want to see someone their age making money. All I get is, oh, Zach, the reason I went with you is because like, I wouldn't want to go with a 30-year-old making money. Like, I like the fact that you're young and you're making money. So of course I'm going to go with you. Does that make
So what
sense?
would you say the average age of your customer?
Between 20 and 21, most of them, they're young.
And when they sign up with you for a 3 grand mentorship right now, do they pay in full most of the time, or is it payment plans?
So a lot of them do payment plans. So that's one thing that actually helped us scale. So having a good money model as well. So having payment plans allowed us to scale because we're not leaving money on the table, right? We're accommodating for clients, whether that's through Klarna, whether that's through direct debit. Installments has definitely been one big reason why we've managed to also do as well as we have, because we didn't have installments, to be honest with you, it would be quite tough. So
Mm,
also understanding and being clear with people about how much money they need to spend is really
yeah,
important as well.
gotcha. And what would you say, like, for example, right now when you do installments, I'm into the nitty-gritty stuff. How many installments do you usually give people to do?
In terms of like per month, it would be 3 installments, 3 monthly.
3 month installments, that's the maximum you do it for.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough, fair enough. Cool. So we spoke about the lifestyle on social media that you're showing, but how has your lifestyle changed in general between
Yeah.
where you were in April to where you're at now?
I mean, I have to. I messaged you the other day because sometimes I'm sitting on the balcony where I was in Cyprus, and I'm just thinking about when I was in April and I spent my lot. Like I had 16 grand left, and I spent 10 of it with you, right? And I said to you the goal that I wanted to achieve by June, which was crazy. Even you didn't think I was going to hit it, but we hit it, which
Yeah.
was cool. Yeah. I have to remember sometimes about where I've come from to be grateful, because even the year before that, I just dropped out of university, right? Like my lifestyle has generally changed to the point where like I am providing for people now. It's not even a thing of I have, it's cool. You have the car. I've bought my car now. I've bought a watch. I've bought the chains. I've done the holidays, the SF90s, but it's changed now because I'm actually responsible for people. You know, my brother lives with me. I got him out of his job. I have someone else I just employed who you know about who's quit his job to work for me. So there is pressure now that comes with it. I've kind of gone past the lifestyle point now where it's like I have a comfortable life, thankfully. I can go wherever I want. I can live out the country. Finances aren't a big issue, but I also have more responsibility now. I have people who have quit their jobs to work for me. I have more clients now, more expectations. So the life is great, but there's more pressure, which is what
More stress, more pressure, yeah, more responsibility. Fair enough. Interesting. So right now, obviously, some of the stuff has worked. What stuff do you feel like? I know the answer to this question, but I wanted you to say it. What stuff do you feel like you're still slacking on?
I definitely think like the emails. The emails is one thing that I need to work on. I did obviously 2 last week and things like that. Long form, because I was meant to do 20 and I only produced 10, which is poor on my end. But that was because of a issue with like editors and stuff like that. It's been resolved now, so I'm doing like 3 a day. Long form content a bit more of. And then also, I think sticking to a plan a little bit more. The only thing with me, which is good and bad, it allows me to scale really fast, is I am really, really, really like changing plans all the time until I find one that I think, all right, this one is going to make me the next 200 grand, right? And this is one tip for anyone that's actually starting their business, and you helped me with this, which is the reason why you need to outsource is not because you need to have more time to relax. You actually need more time to think. And then when you have that time to think, you can sit down, and I do this with my whiteboard. You can sit down, you can look at the chessboard, you can look at what is going on in your business and think, all right, if we continue doing this, this is where we're going to go. If we do this instead, because of the idea I have now, this is how we can scale a lot quicker. So definitely like that's the
Yeah.
situation.
What I want to highlight to everybody, and this is what's crazy, is that because it's so, I think I want to get specific so people can understand the amount of volume that you and your team are doing right now in terms of social media. Because number one thing right now is fucking traffic. If you can get traffic, if you can get views, you will get sales, right? That's just how it works, right? Yes, customer quality may be different and all that sort of stuff. So just break it down to me right now in your best month. How many long form YouTube videos do you create and post?
Sure. So if I go off the plan that is for this month, which is
Yep.
obviously in motion, we're doing, for me, 20 long form YouTube videos a month, which is one every
Mental.
other. Yeah.
Okay. how many short form videos on Instagram and TikTok?
So in total, we want to be hitting, for me personally, I am hitting at least 200 on short form a month. And then
Mental.
we've got,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got at least then, because now I've partnered up with like one of my students who's going to be helping a lot more. He's going to be doing another 180 as well. So that's 380. And then I even have some students who just post about me. I didn't even know they're on social media. I had one student, his name's like Ernest, and his
Mhm.
TikTok is like dedicated to SS University. I didn't even know. And I actually found it the other day, which is crazy as well. So we've got more content, at least 500 pieces of short form is my plan.
Per
And then,
month.
yeah, per month. And that's like us doing it. Obviously, with clipping, I've got a lot, like a
Yeah.
lot. You can
So
argue
then,
I have
okay.
1,500 a month.
All right. So 20 long form, 50. How much did you say? 100? How much on short
500
form?
short form.
500 short form. How many TikTok lives?
That would be at least 100
100 TikTok lives.
a month. Yeah.
How the fuck do you do all of this?
Because you have to do it to win. I mean, I actually don't think I'm working enough. It's really interesting. I actually made a YouTube video about this the other day. I started doing a thing now where I put a stopwatch on my laptop to see how much I'm actually working. The reality is, and I even saw you post about this, sometimes when you don't have a plan, and this is why I'm so heavy on plans, hours just go by. And I've been there where like I will have a day where like I've done stuff, but like I haven't really done stuff. I took too long to do one thing that I could have done really quickly. And that's why I'm so heavy on like having a plan. Because when you have a plan and you sit down with your team or yourself and you say, I'm going to do 500 of this a month, now every single day, you just have to do this each day. And then when you have that plan, you look at your timetable, you look at how much you're doing, and it's a feasible plan you can stick to, then it's pretty easy. Like, I think everyone can do that volume. It doesn't take me that long. Like, I don't even think I'm trying enough. I'm still like messing about some hours, and like I was with my little brother when I came home yesterday playing FIFA for like an hour. Like, you've still got time to do other things, right? But another thing is protect your peace as well. This is obviously out
Yeah.
of context. Don't be spending time with people and talking about nothing. That even is your parents as well. I don't like call my friends really. There's nothing to talk about really anyway. I don't, like realistically, that's just how it is. You don't need to spend time wasting time with people scrolling TikTok if it's not benefiting you, having conversations with people that's wasting your time. Like, it comes down to the little things as well. Like, I will always be able to do more because I refuse to do the stuff that's going to obviously drag me down, right?
What's the system? 20 long form videos, hundreds of short form videos. Oh, how do you get it done? Because I'll be honest, some of my students are like, okay, I'm going to commit to 4 long form videos a month. I'm going to commit to 10 to 15 short form videos a month. And they feel like they're being very productive.
Yeah, no, and this, I made even a video about this. Sometimes, and I may be victim of this. Sometimes we feel like we're winning and we're actually losing. Sometimes, look, they're doing 4 short form content in the nicest way. What is that? Like 4 long form videos, you want to get clients, I'll record 4 in one day. Like, I'll give myself 30 minutes. I have my DJI camera, I have my laptop, I prepare what video idea I'm going to do, whether that's using ChatGPT. One bit of advice I can give people is, and this is why then you need to do your TikTok lives and also post your short form, because you said this to me, have a look at your comments. Sometimes your comment section will literally give you a video idea. Like, why it's all a circle, right? If you post 500 short form videos, you also go on TikTok live every day, you will have thousands of ideas. Like, I have so many ideas because every day I'm posting a short form video, I'll get a comment. Someone will say, Zach, what about this? Oh, okay, cool. That's a video idea to do for YouTube. Okay, I'll post on YouTube, and then someone will say, Zach, what about this? All right, cool. Now I've got another short form idea. And then I've got obviously videographers around me. Then I look at other people's content as well, see what I can adapt. And then again, because I'm not wasting time doing silly things during the day, when I'm sitting by the beach or on the balcony, as you do, yeah, I can think of more ideas. So I can think, what is it that I want to post about tomorrow? What's going on in my business that, in my business, I just hired a new staff member. Okay, cool. Long form video. Here's how to hire staff for your Amazon business. Boom. Repeat old videos as well. So I've done the same video 3-4 times because it got views. Like, it's very simple, to be honest with you, but you just have to be like willing to put in the work and not get any applause for it. I think that's one thing. A lot of people want applause for the work that they do. Like, oh, I did 4 short form videos today, I'm like really happy. Like, of course, that's great. you can take on that personal win. But if you're looking around for then people to give you the likes and the views and the shares, you're going to lose. You have to just do it and
Yeah.
keep doing.
So right now, for somebody who's just getting started, whether it's in e-commerce coaching or something else, what's like the one bit of advice that you give? I mean,
I
there's
feel,
tons, but like one thing that you
yeah,
would be like, that's where
the,
people mess up on.
the one bit of advice I would say is be unique, right? And when I say be unique, I mean, when you're about to go into a coaching business or go into a market, you need to think about how can I beat everyone else, not just by hard work, but also being unique. I think the way that we've also been able to win is because of the uniqueness, whether it's the TikTok lives, whether it's the fact that my whole message is about dropping out of uni, automating a business, Amazon FBA not being your life. Like
Yeah.
that's my message. It's all
Yeah.
about how to make an Amazon business and also have a life and stuff like that as well. Right. And when you're unique and you tell your own story, you attract what you attract. And when you're
Mm,
comfortable with that as well, and it's funny because I never used to tap into that. I used to try and kind of copy everyone else's videos and stuff like that. But when I started just saying, no, look, this is my story. I went from having minus £990 to over 25K in 6 months whilst I was a uni student. Well, then of course I'm getting uni students, apprentices. Look, this is how I worked a part-time job earning £70 a day. Now I'm doing £200 a day. You just start attracting your people. And when you actually attract your people, one, they will pay you more money and they will actually almost be like a clan because they actually like you. You know, of course, you don't want to be liked and force being liked, but when you're yourself, you get people who like you, and people who like you respect you and they'll also pay you. And when you have that, it's actually more enjoyable for you to coach because you actually like the people you're coaching as well. So I'd say the one thing is be unique, talk about your story, and then just do sheer amounts of volume to the point where it's impossible to lose. Like that's really the
yeah.
three things I would say.
Cool. Last question. We're now in November. I'm sure you're thinking of 2026. What's the revenue goal for 2026?
I mean, I want to hit at least 1 million in 2026. It's big, but my goal is to make 1 million. And that's not even, I'll say just from every business.
Is that from Amazon or is that from coaching or is that from both together?
I think that's from everything, whether that's new launches or businesses that I'm going to do off the back of coaching, because I think people don't understand how powerful coaching business can be. People just look at coaching at a surface level, which is, yeah, I just want clients. But I looked at coaching like, okay, this is going to also help my Amazon business. Okay, this is also going to allow me to build my name, which can then allow me to build another business. And when you look at it like that and you look at everything as a joint, yeah, you'll completely outdo everyone.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure. Honestly, really, really appreciate it. I think the one message that I hope people get away from this, and even I got it as well, it kicks me up the arse as well, is just like how much volume you have done to achieve a 15x in terms of your coaching business. It blows my mind that you can do more long form videos in a month than people can do short form videos in a month. And long form, let's be honest, takes a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, even this morning, I went and recorded between 10 and 11, and we just shot 35 short form videos in 1 hour. So that's the like what you gotta do. And when you do that, as you've seen, like you just get rewarded for it.
Yeah. And then what's amazing is that once you do start making a bit of money, you can afford a video editor, you can afford a videographer, you can afford a thumbnail designer, you can afford a VA, all of these sort of people that makes life a little bit even easier. I'm pretty sure you weren't doing that much volume at the very start, but once you've
No, but
made a little bit,
I actually was. And this is maybe where some people mess up, right? Because you think, all right, I need to have an editor, a thumbnail, or this and that to actually make the content. I used to, when I was at uni, post every single day editing myself without even showing my face. So I already had that before I was making any money. I wasn't even making any money. And I was recording once every day, a new idea every day of my monitor on a screen, right? So that's where like, of course, yeah, it helps when you have more people, but it's almost like going to the gym, right? If you can't do it when you have no muscles, then, you know, when you don't see the results, you need to put in the work. When you see the results,
yeah,
of course, it's easy to keep going because you see the
yeah.
results now. Yeah, of course you'll do it. You got to do it
Cool,
when the results on there.
cool, cool, cool. Well, listen, I really, really appreciate you. Big things. We're going to be doing big, big things in 2026. I think this is just the very beginning of your entrepreneur. Like, Jesus Christ, you're born in the 2000s. You're born in like 2000 and fucking nine, when
Nah,
2012, like
yeah,
that. What the, I don't
2004.
even know.
2004.
Crazy. 2004, and you've got six figures in the bank and you're aiming for 1 million next year, which is insane given the fact that you were, I'm not going to give an exact number, but let's be honest, you were doing just a couple of grand every now and then in the very beginning of the year. So
Yeah.
to go
My
from that to now going to, I think it's a very achievable goal with everything that you've got going on, over 1 million next year. It's insane. So hopefully people can see that it is possible. It is real. It's there. Like, you can't fake your lifestyle. You can't fake going from one country to another. You can't fake driving SF90. Yes, it was a rental, but let's be honest, the rental isn't cheap either.
Nah,
You
three
know,
grand,
and it was, how much was it?
3 grand for one day.
Yeah, yeah. Like, even, when they say, yeah, he rented a supercar, it's like, yeah, that's still a flex, That's still a flex. So yeah, but with all that being said, like, really appreciate you. It's
No,
been
like,
a joy coaching you. We still have another 4 months or so,
yeah, we've
and
got a
then
lot.
we'll go from there.
No, 100%. I appreciate obviously your help. I mean, with everyone watching this, for Ben, you just need to follow what he says. I think it's very simple. Like, you've got someone who's giving you a strategy who's made millions, and it's like, sometimes as students we sometimes think we know better, right? And this is why, like, any student watching this, you just need to trust Ben, and he'll make something for you, and you just have to follow it. And if you put in the work, you get the results.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But the problem is that there are too many people who sell the idea that, hey, there is no hard work involved. It's just like, hey, buy my mentorship, whatever, whatever, and all of a sudden you'll get magically money will start raining from the sky. And it's just like, no, this is a real business. It requires hustle, it requires hard work and stuff. And that's like the cold reality that some people have to get used to. But you weren't scared of that. I don't think I have much to do with your work ethic. I think it was just more about clarity and direction that I helped you with.
But that's just as important. It's just as important, because
Yes.
you can be a fast car, but if you have no direction, you're not going to win the
Yeah.
race. You got no control, you're going to spin out, right? That was me. I had no control, so I was only going to spin